am currently on a trip, and I just want to document that I just tried to eat. And when I looked at the food, it looked like Play-Doh. It looked fake. It looked like I just put it, and I'm the one that cooked the food. It looked like I just put it together because I wanted it to look good so I could want to eat it, but I really didn't want to eat it. Like, I did not want to eat the food. It looks like Play-Doh. It looks like Play-Doh. The only thing that I can do right now is drink water. And even I'm looking at the water, and I'm like, if I don't talk to the water, if I don't tell the water how I feel or what I want it to do, then I'm just drinking dead water. The water has no purpose. The water is not serving a purpose. So we're just drinking dead water. We're eating dead food that we've made to look as if it's good and appetizing, so we would want to eat it and trick ourselves into eating it, but in reality it's not good. The more I sit here, I just seen 111, but the more that I sit here and really think about this shit, it's like, why are we trying to eat something that has been cooked? And the food that I wasn't even eating, it was raw. It was raw food, quote unquote. But I feel like our food has been stripped away from its nutrients so much when it's in them stores, when it done went through so many different people. So many people done crossed it. So many energies done went all over that food. It got so many different intentions on it, and we just eating it. And we just plating it, making it look like it's good so we could want to eat it. But it's really not good. It's really not nourishing. It's really not doing nothing for you. This shit crazy. And then you sit there and think about it even more with the water. You're bathing in the water. That water holds memory. So the memory that you have in that, the memory that you're being fed from that water is simply whatever intentions it already has on it. It's already predestined. So you have to change the energy. You have to shift the energy. You have to put the energy that you want on the water, on the food. If not, you're just gonna be eating Play-Doh. Because just like Play-Doh, when you get the shit out the container, it's nothing until you create it. It's just Play-Doh. But when you shape it and shift it and form it, that's when it becomes something else. And it's the same thing with the food. It's the same thing with the water. That's why they say the food and the water is dead. It is. Until you give life to it. You are the life that's given to the food. That's why I made a video about 2 years ago. I'm about to tell you how melanin, carbon, and chlorophyll is all related. And how they don't want you to know that you really have the capability to turn light energy into chemical energy. Okay, so carbon is melanin. And melanin is also equivalent to chlorophyll in plants. The reason they tell you 666 is bad is because 666 is the formula for carbon, which is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. Basically, they're demonizing you. Also, they tell you when you're in school that we breathe in the oxygen and give away the CO2 for the plants to take in the CO2 and give us the oxygen, when that's not true at all. Plants actually have mitochondria, which can convert the chemical to light energy, and they also have the chloroplasts, which convert the light to chemical energy. And if your chloroplasts are related to melanin in humans, then doesn't that mean that the melanin has the same capability to take that light energy and turn it into the chemical energy needed to carry out your processes? And yeah, that E gene that they're telling you about, that's only describing the mitochondria, which we all know is the powerhouse of the cell. The reason that you are this copper color or this brown color is because your melanin is being removed from you. Because when you consume plant energy or when you consume plants, you are basically telling your body and weakening that part of your body that is able to convert that light energy to chemical energy. So now it becomes unusable. Just like when a plant doesn't have the light that it needs, it becomes brown. It's the same thing. Really, when we get our energy from plants, it's only because they're creating an imbalance in our body. And so when you have that imbalance, you either lose or gain energy. Certain things you eat make you lose energy, while certain things make you gain it. If you don't believe anything that I'm saying, go watch the Avatar and try to understand why they're blue. About 2 years ago, and I was telling people that the energy that you get from plants is secondary. The energy that you get from meat is tertiary. It's third. But the first energy that you should get is from the sun, because you are the plant itself. So when you're eating other plants, you're just eating dead energy that has been utilized for another organism. But you are the one that has to put life into it in order for you to, like, it's the same thing. You have to put out energy, ATP, in order for you to break that down and get more ATP. You have to be the one to break down the plants in order to get the energy that the plants already once had inside of them. You have to break down the meat in order to get the energy that the meat already once had inside of it, that it got from the plant, that it broke down from itself. But basically, the food that you get from the sun is you converting that shit into chemical energy, into usable energy, light energy to chemical, straight from the sun. You can do that. You don't need no plant to do that. You don't need no meat to do that. You do that. You make the energy for yourself. Why the fuck you relying on the plant? Why the fuck you relying on the animal? Do the shit yourself. And I think people forget that. And so when you really sit here and say it, they'll look at you like you crazy, or they'll look at you like, oh, well, we gotta eat. No, you don't. The more you condition yourself, the more you fast, the more you tell yourself you don't need that goddamn Play-Doh food, that dead food, because it done already used the energy for what it wanted. You just bumming off the results. So go out there, sit in the sun, collect the energy that you need to collect, transfer that shit to what you need to transfer it to do, and keep going. That's why they want people that got melanin. They want people that got melanin. And I'm not just talking about the skin pigment melanin. I'm talking about the neuromelanin that lies within your organs, lies within your neurological system, lies within you, every part of you. Your brain, your heart, your kidneys, your liver, everything got melanin in it. Not just your skin. Your skin is the largest organ on your body. So it's only reflecting what's going on the inside. That's why when you get acne and when you get pimples and all that stuff, it reflects on the outside. That's why they want people with melanin. They want you with melanin because they know that ultimately you are the one who is original to this planet and who can convert that electric sun and the magnetic sun that lies in the middle of the earth, the heart. You can convert that shit into usable energy. That's why you are an electromagnetic being. You don't need no plants. You don't need no meat. You don't need all these other organisms to do the work that you're supposed to be doing for yourself. That's what's causing us to age. That's what's causing us to die out. Do you know people live for hundreds and 200 years? They live for years. Because they knew this. They fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Them folks weren't eating nothing but bread and water and surviving. How? Because they knew. You don't need no plants. You don't need no meat. You're over here killing innocent beings to do the work that you should be doing for yourself. The same way that they're eating humans too. Same way they're doing that. Yep, cannibals. Cannibalism. That's the fourth stage of it. You got the plants, the second stage. You got the meat, the animals, the third stage. You got humans, the goddamn fourth stage. Yep, the proteins that everybody's so hype over. That's what proteins are. Because really, you don't need proteins. You need amino acids. That is the base level to a protein. Then you got secondary proteins. Then you got third. Then you got quaternary. And who is producing the quaternary? Who's producing the proteins? Y'all ever thought about that? Where everybody want protein so goddamn bad. You ever thought about that one? You don't need proteins. You need amino acids. Eat foods. If you're going to eat the food, eat foods that's high in amino acids. Don't be focusing on protein. Because I guarantee you, they're going to come out years later and say that them proteins is human. Billion served, ain't it? Because I'm not gonna lie, when I used to eat that fast food, I used to be addicted. I used to be really, really, really addicted. And I used to wonder why I used to crave that shit. Like, it was a craving. A craving. I used to tell people I wouldn't eat regular burgers. If they made burgers at home, like on the grill and stuff, I wouldn't even eat that. But I'll eat a McDonald's burger. Once upon a time. And I used to wonder why. What's the difference? Oh, it's a difference, baby. It's a difference. So now, not only do your body gotta break down that human flesh, break down that animal flesh, break down that plant flesh, break down the sun. When you can just go to straight directly to the goddamn source and get it yourself. Go back to the original source of what you are. And you don't even need the sun outside of yourself, because the sun outside of yourself is just a reflection of the light, the internal light, the flame that lies within you, your soul. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. But when you sit here and think about it, we're eating fucking Play-Doh. We're literally drinking dead water. The water that we're drinking is not even real water. You're supposed to get your water H3O from fucking fruits. That's what water is. That's where you get your hydration from. I've always wondered why the hell I really didn't like use no towel when I got out of the shower, because it defeats the fucking purpose. When you get out of the shower, you dry yourself off and you put on lotion or oil. You're not trapping in no moisture, so you're not hydrating yourself. And essentially, you're trapping in dryness. So you're supposed to leave the water on your skin. You're supposed to leave the moisture on your skin and then trap that in. It's the same way on the inside. Again, internal reflecting on the outside, outside reflecting on the internal. You have to eat foods and fruits and things that have moisture in them. Drinking water does nothing but, drinking the water that they give us, drinking water, literally called drinking water, is to dilute. It is diluting. It is a solvent to the solutes that's in your body. So when you drink that water, you're not doing nothing but diluting your blood, diluting the energy, diluting what you're putting in. That's why you have to drink water with food. That's why babies literally don't need nothing but breast milk. I mean to tell me, when I came in this world, I could survive off of milk, fats, amino acids. But the more that I grow, the bigger that I get, I gotta eat dead food and dead water. And not to mention, they're not gonna put me in an environment, especially if you're in America, in an environment where I can thrive in the sun, so I can collect energy for myself. No, you're gonna be in a building with artificial lights, like a goddamn reptilian. Interesting, ain't it? Interesting, ain't it? And what I was saying about the cannibalism and eating the humans, that's what them other beings gotta do, because they don't have the capability to do it for themselves. They don't have the capability to turn light, hue, colors, energy, different energies on a spectrum into usable energy. They don't have the capability to do that. So that's why they created cannibalism. So you eating yourself, you eating other humans, is quite literally going against your nature. That's why they want to do that. That's why they want to eat you. That's why they want to get you so far out of your natural element that you don't even realize you don't need the plants, you don't need the animals. Shit, you might not even need the sun. Because once upon a time, folks lived for 5 to 1,000 years. Fuck 100 and 200. When we were just exclusively light beings. We weren't dense in this flesh shit. But the more you have to feed the flesh, that's where that shit comes from. That saying, feed the flesh. You gotta feed the flesh. The more dense you become, just like some of them beings, like I said, 2-dimensional beings, 1-dimensional beings, they're dense as hell. They can't create the energy for themselves. And if you get trapped in this 3rd dimension, you're not going to be able to create the shit for yourself no more. We're moving past that shit. Dimension, density, same thing, interchangeable. Take in knowledge. Take in wisdom. Take in things that are going to allow you to transfer your soul. That's the real food. Food for thought. Food for consciousness. That's why they say water is where the wisdom is. The wisdom is where the water is. Ancient intelligence. Where they got you thinking AI need that goddamn water to cool itself. No, the fuck it don't. It don't need no goddamn water to cool itself down. It don't need no goddamn water for that. It need the water because the water holds fucking memory. It's using the water to fuel its memory, fuel its consciousness. And they want us, like you watching me on this fucking screen, to input our consciousness into this fucking digital shit. So it can survive longer. But not really. Because just like these meat suits have an expiration date, that technology, that metal has a fucking expiration date as well. That's why they're digging for resources. It's not just to make money, nigga. It's to put all that shit together. Trying to create super fucking energy. Don't realize you're just fucking speeding up the rate that things are expiring. That's why the human fucking life capacity now is what, 70, 50, 60 years? My great-grandfather lived almost to a fucking 100 in today's time. Imagine what they could do thousands of years ago. Them motherfuckers, you didn't even need this goddamn skin suit. That's how much they understood their consciousness. That's why they feeding you poison. Imagine if we all stayed on the same breast milk that we was on when we came into this goddamn world. I'm off this motherfucker.